Now, the Marlborough region of New Zealand and the South Island of New Zealand has become synonymous with one grape variety. That grape variety is Sauvignon Blanc. The Marlborough Sauvignons were an enormous success through the end of the 90s and right through to the present day, becoming one of the most distinctive and popular white wine styles. But Marlborough has been aware that it has to also branch out a little bit and find new things to talk about in terms of the Marlborough story. So there's been a real concerted effort to produce other wine styles from other grapes. So you can now find Marlborough Pinot Noir, certainly, lots of Chardonnay, lots of even things like Syrah and Viognier on the shelves. And one of the grapes that they've always grown, but which they're promoting a little bit more these days, is Riesling. Now, Riesling, of course, is its biggest southern hemisphere kind of proponent at the moment is Australia, the great dry Rieslings from the Clare and Eden valleys and other areas of Australia. But New Zealand makes the wines very well too, and a lot of them tend to be somewhere between the typical German style of being off-dry to sweet and being very fresh, and let's say the Australian style of being bone dry and very, very limey and very intense. And this is a really good example. It comes from Esk Valley, an estate best known probably for the red wines, but they make some really cracking white wines too. And although Esk Valley is based in Hawke's Bay up on the North Island of New Zealand, they get the fruit for this wine from Marlborough. So it's the Esk Valley Marlborough Riesling 2010, and it costs around £10.49 from a variety of independent wine merchants. And I'm going to put a list of those at the end of the video. So, Marlborough Riesling 2010, and the nose is lovely. It's very mineral. There's kind of lemon skins and a touch of waxiness there, but there's also that kind of salty minerality coming through. A very attractive, quite a dry nose, suggesting that the wine is going to be dry. A little hint of something floral too, a little hint of something like very ripe apple in there. So quite complex, subtle but complex aromas in this wine. And in the mouth, it's lovely, it's very juicy. There is some sweetness here. I don't know the figures for the residual sugar, the technical amount of sugar that's in the wine, but there's some sweetness here. But as well as that, there's really ripe fruit, hinting towards tropical fruit, hinting towards very ripe melon, hinting towards even a little bit of mango. But all the time there is lovely acidity. It's quite a broad, expansive style of Riesling, 13% alcohol here, so it's a fairly hefty wine as opposed to most of the German styles. So it has texture, it has richness, it has that little bit of kind of viscous weight in the palate. But offsetting that sweet, sweet fruit, there's a really, really, really good core of acidity. It's a kind of fresh lemon juice, grapefruit juice, acidity just running through. I think this is a really nice wine, textured and full, a great partner for Chinese food, as these wines often do suit very well. But I think this, with a big plate of scallops grilled with butter and lemon juice and a bit of garlic, match made in heaven. So it's the Esk Valley 2010 Marlborough Riesling from New Zealand. It costs around £10.49, available from the retailers coming up. It's my wine of the week.